Hello everyone, Shadefire here, and today I'm just going to be doing a one-off video for Deep Rock Galactic, because when I did that coverage of the update a while back, people seem to enjoy it, people who are not familiar with the game too much, so I thought, you know, this is a game I play regularly, at least once a day, pretty much. Sometimes I'll do one mission, sometimes I'll do a few throughout the day, but it is definitely a game that I'm still enjoying coming back to regularly, so I thought, you know what, let's share that with the folks. So, let's see, what do we got for missions? I don't have an assignment right now, because those reset once a week, and there are only 2 of them. So we're just going to look for, maybe we'll do this one. I always tend to go for either double XP or these double hazard ones they added in a recent patch, because those give you the most XP, and leveling up your account level is pretty much the thing to do once you've gotten pretty deep into the game. Goes all the way up to 999. Yeah, so that looks like the only interesting mission on offer at the moment. So we're going to host, and we're going to go Hazard 5, which sometimes that can be rough, but usually it depends on the mission type and modifiers. And the buff beer on tap is Dark Morkite, which is useless unless you're doing a Morkite mission. It's one of the few in that selection that is actually not useful generally. Really, all it does is make your Morkite missions go faster, and they're already pretty short. And as always, folks will probably join while we're in progress. It's, you know, it's about 7 o'clock Eastern, so there is usually a lot more people on. I tend to play in the middle of the night, you know, that's my preferred time of day, but even then, there's usually a lot of people on.
Hurry up! I ain't getting younger, you know!
Shit, I actually meant to switch to Scout for this mission. That's fine. Gunner should be able to handle this. Okay, so certain missions will start with a horde of bugs already coming after you, but I don't think that the salvage missions usually are, unless there's a hole in the cave that you start in.
Mini-mules that drop pod and their lives in this cave. Find and repair the lost mules, get the drop pod operational, and return to base. Expect heavy infestation, and try not to mess it up like your former colleagues.
So because this is Hazard 5, the bugs are going to be very fast. That's mainly the biggest difficulty increase you'll notice. There's also more of them, but again, the speed is the one that will get you killed. This is our side mission, is collecting 14 of these nuts. These nuts. And they have a little glow on them. I don't think that's one. Oh, that is one. Sometimes things can spawn in walls, because again, this is all randomly generated. Usually works pretty well. There's not anything that's too broken most of the time with the level spawn. They put a lot of work into it. I'm sure earlier on in this game's development, when I didn't play nearly as much, there was a lot more fucked up maps. Okay, it doesn't look like we got much in our starting room. If we had a scout, they could go up onto these ledges, but usually even in the dark like this, you'll see the glint of ore. And what we're looking for is nitra, which is what you use to get more ammo drops. So I think we can just head deeper in. Usually these mule missions, because there is kind of a general layout that tends to spawn with different mission types. With these ones, there's usually like one big central chamber where your mules will be, but sometimes some of those mules will spawn in the starting room. I would like to have one of the random bosses show up in one of these videos, because you never know when they're going to. It's just they could spawn in a level.
Come and get me, you disgusting bug!
I'll be honest, Bosco here sometimes can be more useful than an inexperienced player. Though I'm not somebody who will ever kick someone for being a low level. It's just sometimes it feels like people are hoping they'll get carried through a mission because they join very difficult missions at a low level. Alright, so I'm using the gunner's other weapon right now, the autocannon, which is more focused on AoE than direct damage, like the Gatling gun. And I've got a Big Bertha overclock on it, which makes it do a lot more damage, but it shoots a lot slower. So it switches it away from just being AoE focused. You can also use an overclock to specialize even further, which is the Carpet Bomber overclock. So there is options for how to use these weapons, even if there's only 2 main and 2 sub-weapons. I think in one of the 2 update videos it did, I used the gunner, but I can't remember. Okay, I hear the mules. That's that. Hear that beeping sound? There's a lot of good audio like that. I mention this every time that I play this game with people, but there's some very good directional audio that you can use to find stuff. Okay, and there's a spitballer. I find that most people tend not to notice that you can actually shoot the projectiles of these out of the air, because they home in on you a little bit. You can't always sidestep them. So the 2 difficulty modifiers that we have are Cave Leech Cluster and Regenerative Bugs. Regenerative Bugs is basically just, if you don't keep shooting them after a little while, they'll start to heal. It's not really a tough one.
What's this?
There's only certain enemies, I guess, that are a little tougher with that modifier. But the Cave Leech one could be a big problem because we don't have anyone else who's joined yet. Because those will kill me by themselves. Okay, here comes Danny. But there's going to be probably a lot of Cave Leeches in this room, so we have to keep an eye on the ceiling and look for tendrils reaching out for us. Another thing is when people join these Cave Leech missions, you know, because you have to actually look at the mission before you join it. It's not like you just join a random one. There's no quick match. But yeah, they tend to join these Cave Leech missions and then never look up. I say that as I get fucking grabbed.
I have a good feeling about this.
Thanks, Danny. If he hadn't saved me, Bosco might have, but he's usually too slow. Oh no, I hear Bosco bugged out over here. It's okay. We're not going to stand over here anyway.
If you don't rock and stone, you ain't coming home.
Also, you can see Danny's got the red border around him. I think that is the second highest one, and the blue is the highest. But I'm not sure, because I've never actually gotten to that level. And that is specifically character level and not account level. So this isn't a horde or anything, this is just all the bugs that were already spawned in this room.
Yeah. Down the hatch.
Alright, we got enough for a supply drop now. Minerals like that Umanite there are used for buying upgrades. I don't really need them for upgrades anymore, but you also need them for unlocking overclocks. Which is kind of what you do at the start of late game or late mid game, is just unlock those overclocks. Alright, so this is our objective. Find these, stick the legs on, and then repair them. Then we have to actually escape.
Coordinates transferred. Gotta check my terrain scanner.
And you can do that, because sometimes they can be weirdly generated where they're like way above the actual thing. But they always tend to be
A bullet in the face.
fairly near it. Fucking swarmers.
Your team is getting bigger. Dwarf inbound.
Those are probably one of the most despised enemies in the game, the Swarmers. And they recently added a modifier called Swarmageddon, where they just constantly spawn in groups.
That's all you got, you slippery shits!
Well done. The mule is working again.
Alright, and now we got a full team, which is good because the end of this mission is a defense thing, so... Oh. There's like 4 of them up there.
The way to join you.
Their weak point is actually the tip of their little grabby hand. Oh, we got an omen tower here.
Hello there!
So-
We're dead!
These are how you get overclocks, is these random machines that will spawn in missions, and they're like little side objectives, basically. That one can be pretty brutal, though. That tends to wipe teams. And we're on Has 5, so... These people all look pretty competent, though. Nope. It's a free ammo station. Honestly, I usually don't bother with these if I'm by myself because they take so long to repair, and usually it's like one ammo refill, which gives you 50% ammo. I'm only down 1 bar, which means I don't need a refill. That's just like a cumulative count of all of someone's ammo across their 2 weapons and their 1 tool. Okay. So most of the legs are actually directly below, like right here. Oh, that's a kidnapper.
Got it right between the eyes!
Sounds like you got it off him pretty quick.
Sentry off!
So rather than taking... Oh. Got the ledge stuck out a little further. I was going to say, rather than taking stuff to one of those when they're high up, you can dig down like that to drop them. And that way you can just throw the legs down on top of it. So yeah, this thing can wipe teams. It really just depends what modules it came with. So we've got a twin slicer and a heavy burster, which is... I think a lot better than getting a drone replicator, because that's the thing I've seen wipe teams the most, is people don't pay attention to the drones, and they pop out, they fly right into you, and they blow up.
I'll beat your record this time. Just watch.
So you have to have like one person pretty much just on drone shooting duty. But it's also on a timer, so you have to do it quickly, the whole thing. We have enough nitro, so we can call a supply drop. Guess we might as well do this thing first.
Resupply ordered.
Supply pod launched. Better stand back.
Ready to use.
I wonder, I've never actually seen someone really use a zip line for one of these. But I think I could probably get above it.
Resupply arrived. Go restock.
Also, having this trench right here is really nice because most of their weapons don't aim down. The only one that would hit you from below is the heavy burster.
Down to the bone.
Alright, I guess we're doing it. Maybe wait until the rain stops, guys?
Mule operational. Well done.
So, basically the way you fight this thing is there are 3 panels around it that you have to stand on to get the weak points to pop out. 1 for each of the modules. I actually don't know if the radiation from the Fat Boy damages this. I don't think it does because it's a machine. Yeah, so that means he has the nuke grenade launcher.
Look over here.
Is this gonna work? I don't know if he's blocking it.
Rock and stone.
Rock and stone.
Come on, guys.
Look at it go!
Flares are recharging.
Lighting!
Alright. So we wait until somebody is standing on one of those, and then the green things will pop out. So the heavy burster is actually pretty rough because it is pretty much hit scan, so when the light is aiming your way, you gotta get the fuck out of there. Crap. Also, these pink beams, they're really slow, but they do a lot of damage. Crap.
Get into cover.
Platform's nice.
That's the top one. Okay, we got 120 seconds about. Oop. Very nearly went down there. Where is the middle one? Or I guess the bottom. Oh, shit. Jumped up right into the damn pink thing. I guess he's standing in the perfect spot right there, because the only thing that can hit him is the heavy burster. We might be able to do this. About a minute and 20. So, like, those platforms will block the bullets, but they don't block, as you can see, the pulse gun. It kind of just chips away at it. Alright, where is... Grab some health. Oh, there it is. Oop. Okay, all that's left is the heavy burster. Should be pretty easy for us to focus it down if I can find it. It's under all this shit.
I needed that. That explore.
Is it this one? Crap.
Felt better.
9 seconds.
It's overheated.
2 seconds left.
Completed. Booyah! None can stand rock and roll and stone.
Bring me the good.
Alright, so I don't think I have another core. Oh, I do have one.
Come on, I need some new gear.
Alright, so do I want one for the scout, one for the gunner, or a cosmetic one for the engineer?
Hands up.
I think I've got most of the ones I want. Yeah, it's just a crappy one. So those are not like randomly generated or anything, there's just a finite number of them.
Some of the ammo.
And sometimes they add new ones. Okay. So we have all the mules, now we just need some more nuts.
Well done. Secondary objective
Never mind.
completed.
We've got enough nuts.
Zip line done.
Access provided. Platform up.
So now we send the mule to this drop pod before we can repair it.
And let's get that drop pod fixed.
Oh, somebody fell.
You can always deposit on the side of the drop pod. All mules secure.
And you saw there too that I have an instant revive, but it's single use, so save that until we're in trouble.
The space rig. Set up the uplink.
I'm out.
So now we have to defend this thing basically for like 2 minutes.
Get you, kid. Sentry gun needs assembly. Sentry off.
And it looks like he's bunkered us in here a little bit.
I've located the uplink. Time to restart.
Uplink ready. Triangulation initiated. Do not leave the triangulation.
So I
zone
prefer,
or you will
like,
lose
I don't really like the
connection.
bunker
You'll
strategy,
got
but
one
this
shot
stuff
at
is fine because it's a nice big open thing. It just kind of funnels them. Also, I'm pretty sure this gun doesn't do friendly fire like every other gun. Because otherwise you'd be constantly killing your team with the AoE.
Percent.
At least, I don't think it AoEs them friendly fire, but if you hit them directly, it might still hurt them.
Should have left my nose on the bloody spice rig. Ha! Who's gonna protect me now?
Triangulation at 75%. Almost there.
You ugly son of a bitch! God robbing! I'm not scared of you!
So this is actually pretty mellow for Hazard 5. I say it, I almost went down there.
Clipping Wharton down! Die like your mother did!
Uplink triangulation complete.
Well, there goes Danny.
Boat control reestablished. Stand by, sending in fresh fuel cells for the drop pod.
Shield charge
Where
and ready.
is the dead person? All the way up there. This thing's not very accurate, as you can
Fuel
tell.
cells have arrived. Connect them to the drop pod.
Not really what it's for.
You sucker! Help!
Grabbing ammo.
Getting more ammo! Feels better.
Honestly, he probably crashed. I've had that happen. Okay, so that's the other thing we have to defend, but yeah, drop it down here. The other downside about Big Bertha is that your ammo capacity is lower. You have to reload more often, and the reload is pretty slow for this.
There's gold.
Kind of dig this out so that you can run behind this thing if you need to, because you do have to stay inside the circle.
Fuel cells connected. Now you just need to prep the fuel cells and the charge sequence will begin.
Driller would have been useful for this if he hadn't died or whatever.
Roger that. Supplies are coming.
Taste the pickaxe!
I'm gonna make sure that I'm not open micing here. Yeah, okay, I don't have a push to talk set.
One sentry gun ready to be built. Watch and learn. Stick around.
This is a game where when you're playing with randoms, there very much doesn't need to be a voice chat.
Expecting an increase in hostiles.
But I got lucky and I do have some friends who got into this game recently, so I've been playing with them.
Deployment not free.
Warning down. Now kill the rest of them.
I did actually kill him that time. Oh shit, oppressor.
Run for cover!
Okay. It was a little hectic.
Fuel cells at 75%. You're almost there.
Oh. Well, that's not great. Oh, the scout didn't use his freeze grenade. Alright, looks like one of them has the last stand. Come on. Here we go. So he's going to go back down in a second. Last stand basically gives you like 10 seconds to run around. Unless you picked up health. If you pick up health, then you stay up. Okay, that might have been me that did that. Oops. Do the instant revive. Yeah, so this is a bad spot to have to defend. Fuck.
You think this is satisfying?
Fuel cells fully charged. Drop pod in.
Man.
Powering
Ooh.
up. Hold your ground.
Well,
We're almost ready to
at least they can
pull
move
you
out now.
goods
You don't have to be
out.
stuck next to it. Yeah, so turns out having that driller with the freeze cannon made a big difference. Oh, look at all those
Reaction
goddamn
spooling up.
swarmers. Ooh, this is gonna be a tight one. He might get hit here. Yep.
Onboard mainframe booting.
Generally, if you're one hit from down, you're not gonna have enough time to actually get that hit off before they knock you down. I wonder if the scout has any more freeze grenades.
Trajectory.
I mean, that was going pretty well until that last bit there.
Powering radiation shielding.
But yeah, at this point, he could actually just wait us out and get in the drop pod by himself. As long as one person escapes, it's still a mission success. You just get a little bit less of a bonus for anyone left behind. But, you know, it's better. It's better to get the rewards from finishing the mission over that small bonus for trying to rescue everyone.
Pod thrusters calibrated.
But usually, I'll only leave someone behind if it's like really grim shit. Which, this is starting to look like really grim shit. There's a lot of stuff out there.
Ready to leave. It's time to bring it all home. Get on board. We're leaving with or without you.
Alright.
Hanging around forever.
Good job, Scout.
Good work. We're pulling you back in.
So yeah, that mostly went pretty well. Oh, got an achievement. Don't know what the achievement's for. And I don't know what was up with that driller. I don't know if he crashed or he just decided, yeah, I'm just gonna leave.
That was maybe a little more than we could handle.
It's what happens when you
Rock
don't do
and
as
stone forever!
Rock and stone, everybody. Okay. So yeah, that was just a fun mission at the highest difficulty. Now, I still haven't done a mission on the deep dives, and I might do that. I've actually never done a elite deep dive yet, even though it's not too much more difficult. Basically, a regular deep dive is equivalent to about hazard 3.5, they say, and a elite deep dive is about hazard 4.5, and we were just playing it on Haz 5. But every one of these missions, because it's 3 missions in a row, basically, when you do a deep dive, every one of these missions will have modifiers, so you could get some really rough modifiers. Anyhow, that's just a little bit more Deep Rock Galactic for now. Hope you enjoyed, and maybe we'll do some more. Because, you know, like I said, this is just a game I can play at any point. It's a good hop in, do a mission or two, hop out. So, yeah, maybe we'll do some more of this, but until then, you all take care and rock it stone, brothers.